He is Davante Adams, the Raiders wide receiver. He's working with Project Foodbox, which we'll talk about here in a moment. We've been talking about pump up songs here. What's the pump up song that you have before you go out and play a game?
Pump up song. Man, I don't know. I don't really have a go-to pump up song. I'm usually already pretty jacked up and pumped up before I go out there.
What do
So
you
usually,
do? You have,
believe it or not, I play a little Erica Badu or something soothing, something that kind of calms me down before I go out, and then maybe you'll hear some Migos or some Mozzie for the Bay Area guys, or maybe I'm playing some J. Cole or something like that. I don't really need any crazy type of music to get me going because my heart rate is usually going pretty crazy before the game even gets there
I
usually.
like
So
that. Okay, so you have calm down music.
yeah, I like R&B throughout the day just to kind of keep me level, and then I might spike it up right before we go out or play something over the speakers in the locker room or something like that at the last minute.
What's the oddest place you've ever been recognized?
Wow, that's a great question. The oddest place, I would say in a convenience store in Medellin, Colombia.
Okay, how did that work? I mean, walk me through it here.
Well, I was on a trip out there. One of my best friends, he was teaching English out there, so he was right out of college. We all did our own thing. I obviously went to the Packers, and he went to Columbia and was teaching English course out there, and I was out there with him on I think it was like a Friday night or something. We were um, of age, so we were grabbing a nice adult beverage, and yeah, I'm in one of the aisles, and this guy is like, I mean, he's speaking just obviously. I mean, it's like 90, probably 5% Spanish out there. I mean, it's not a lot of English. This guy's talking to somebody, and he hits a corner, and he literally stops in his tracks, immediately looks at me, and he says, "Davante Adams," and I was like, and that's one of the reasons I love it so much out there is that it's so good for my social anxiety. I can kind of move around like a normal, human being and go to the grocery store and do stuff like that. So when he did that, it kind of like threw me off a little bit because I wasn't really ready to be recognized, especially in that moment. I've been recognized out there before, but it was like maybe 9:30 at night, and it just literally like three people in this small store, and this guy recognized me.
But the social anxiety, how does that affect you when you're playing, games, being interviewed? People want to talk to you before or after a game.
Yeah.
How do you manage that?
For me, it really doesn't spike, or I don't really feel it unless it's a situation where I feel like I'm trying to live and be amongst the commoners, and a situation where if I'm at a game or dealing with media and stuff like that, I'm already anticipating that, so it really doesn't do the same thing. But if I'm in Vegas, I can't just go into the win shops or go to the mall or something like that. That's when my social anxiety is going crazy because I'm in a place where people have a lot of access to me, and it's not for a particular reason. It's more for they just have the free access to come up and talk to me, ask me questions and things like that, which I love to do. But it's a little different when you're in a public place and everybody can come from all different angles. If
What?
I'm at a
But how is it different in Green Bay,
well,
or
in Green
was it?
Bay, to be honest, it wasn't very much different. It was in Green Bay. The difference is you have more of football fanatics, so it's like a sense of our football hero, and it's more of just that. So when they would come across him, it was more like a sense of like a family thing. But in Vegas, it's different types of fans. You got people that don't care at all about football, but they just know you as a figure. They see the billboards on the strip and all that stuff. So it's more of like a more intense type of interaction than what it was in Green Bay.
He's Devonte Adams, and he's working with a Project Food Box, an organization helping hunger nonprofits deliver fresh produce to underserved communities. In fact, you're getting ready to do that now. How'd you get involved in this?
Well, got connected through my marketing guy with the great man that runs this, and had the opportunity to talk to him, and started with the My Cleat My Cause collaboration idea, and kind of turned into a little bit more just because it was kind of an organic um, you know, interaction, and it kind of hit home with me because growing up I didn't have that type of access to food banks where you could literally have fresh groceries and healthy foods, not just stuff people can dropping off stuff at your door, but it's more customized and catered to your diet and what you need specifically. So when I think about helping people that are less fortunate and then also being able to give them the top notch things, because these farmers get connected with these food banks and it's fresh from the source. So having those type of things to where it's we're not dropping off cookies and a bunch of just discarded goodies. It's really good stuff that's great for cooking and just directly eating as well. So that kind of hit home for me, and it was kind of a no brainer.
It's called Project Food Box, and he'll be visiting a food bank in Vegas today. When's the last time you talked to Josh Jacobs?
Um, Talked to Josh Jacobs recently. It was probably maybe about 3 or 4 days ago.
What did you say?
I just told him keep his head. This is my 10th year now. I've been through the contract process a total of 3 times now. It's a little easier when you first come in, and then once you start doing your thing on the field, and then makes things a little bit more interesting come contract time. So basically, just told him I understand where he's coming from. You gotta do what you have to do. In order to feel your worth, and you can't just do something that your heart's not in. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense to you, you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, I try to present all the things to him that the positives of coming back. He and I are really close, so when it comes to the connection, and I just try to remind him of the opportunities we have to potentially do something special together. And I also let him know that I play with a great deal of running backs, really good running backs, and there's only a handful that feel like I could go to literal war with, and he's one of those guys. So when I think about winning a Super Bowl and what it takes to win one, because I haven't done that yet, I think about having a guy like him on, in the backfield, by my side, another dog that's ready to go to war and do whatever it takes to get it done. I mean, one of the toughest guys I've ever been around. And I mean, the growth that I saw, obviously didn't know him very well before this, not having been around him as much, but the growth that I saw from the previous year to this last year. I don't ever want to take credit for anything, but I know that when you get around other people that are like you or that push you, it kind of brings the best out of you, which is kind of the Aaron Rodgers effect with me. I feel like having Aaron early in my career, his mindset, his work ethic, and yeah, honestly, the work ethic is through the roof. But like I said, just the way he thinks about the game, the way he approaches it, they put so much of the way he does it, into my craft, and I was able to kind of steal a few things. And I think the same thing happened with both of them, me and Josh.
Yeah.
I feel like he helped me with some of that stuff, and it was great having another dog next to me out there, and vice versa. So try to just give him as much as I can without trying to steer his mind anywhere, because I know what that process is like, and I know what it's like when you're going back and forth with a club about numbers and all those things. So don't want to be naive in the situation, but also want to make sure that he is aware of everything that comes with it, and also the opportunity that we have together.
What's your favorite Aaron Rodgers story?
Well, I have my favorite, but I can't share that one. So
That's the one I want to hear.
if you want me and Aaron to look, our friendship we've sustained it, and we've done a good job of even maybe kicking it up to a new level.
Oh, okay. All right.
If,
Okay.
since leaving. So
Uh,
if you want to keep that intact and no issues, then I cannot share one of them. It's
okay.
not even that bad. It's just a story that kind of got to stay within the team. And if he ever sees this, he will
Okay. Fair
know
enough. Fair enough.
he'll know
Okay.
what the
Second
story is.
best Aaron Rodgers story that you'll be telling your grandkids.
Um, well, I'll tell you the story. This was a veteran and a rookie story. It's not that crazy, but it is. It just shows you the intensity and kind of what I was just referring to. So Aaron Rodgers, I believe it was week 2 of 2014, my rookie year. Week 1, we played Seattle, opened up the season, and I think I played like 8 plays, so I didn't really get too much action that day. So week 2 against the Lions in Detroit, we're in that crazy stadium and crazy things happen in there. So, I've done everything about as good as you could. I was in my book like no other rookie in the world. And we have signals. We use signals a lot over there. You guys saw us, him looking over, giving me a signal, something quick. So we had a signal that was basically like this, and then we had a signal that was like this. So that and that. So looks over to me, and in his defense, I technically should have known which one it was because you
Well, they're
need
very similar looking, though,
very
Davante.
similar. This and a key and that one look very similar. So at the line, he's saying, going through the cadence, green 19, and in between, he throws one of those signals out there. My brain just starts doing backflips and crashing in the walls, all types of stuff. So I freak out and I just pick one. So I don't even think of the fact that I need another person with me to do the other one, the one that I did. So I do the wrong thing and I run a slant. He throws a little quick screen to me. Obviously, I don't catch this ball. The corner follows me. The ball flies out of bounds. It was like goes to like third down or something. He comes sprinting over to me basically during the game, like just letting me have it. And Ndamukong Suh looked over at him. It was so awkward. Like they couldn't even make fun. So he looks over because I'm so confused. Like, what do you mean? I didn't even in my head. I'm like, I did the right thing. And he's going off on me. He's like, and I tell him, and what the worst thing that you can do in that situation is to just tell him
Talk back.
what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you just gotta say my bad. Like that's on me, especially as a young guy, especially, 10 years ago or whatever that was. So this man runs over there and does that, and Ndamukong Suh looks at him, looks at me as we're like right all next to each other now, and he goes, "Ooh, you in trouble." And that was like one of the worst feelings I'd ever had on the field because I
Oh,
couldn't say anything. One, I can't say anything because it's Ndamukong Suh and I'm a rookie anyway. Second, I mean, I literally was in trouble, and I couldn't say anything about it. So that was probably one of the better ones. And then safe to say, I didn't make that mistake anymore.
that's good. Yeah, you've done well since then. Great to have you on. Good luck with the project food box there. We appreciate your time. Good luck this upcoming season, Davante.
Thank you, boss. Much appreciated.
That's Davante Adams, the Raiders.